Just ignore the woman behind the curtain. Can you get in?
David. How's he sounding? Too loud? No, it's I didn't ask you how David was doing.
He just turned me up.
Did you turn the keyboard down? Turn the keyboard down? Yeah, I just have to sing over that. That's just my.
I'm not singing out.
What? You are singing.
Not out. I would say it. I would just sing it out.
So it was right next to the fill it up, just in case I was just gonna fill it up. He came to call Sherry. He's coming. And I stopped to ask him if he could help. And he is helping the way right now.
Good morning, CSL St. George.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing? Good, good. My name is Donnie Lee. I have served as the musical director of CSLS in Southern Nevada, and I've had the privilege of working with your wonderful Reverend Joe Kovach. Give him a hand. And also Reverend Rachel. And so I've been invited, of course I've celebrated with you virtually. And so right now we're just going to take a moment to do what we call raising the praise. Is that okay?
Yes.
Space in my heart. Do this without the track. There is a space in my heart. Truth is found. You and me and them. Doesn't matter what you call me, or where you're from. There's a place where we are welcome. There is love, there is peace. You are welcome here today. A place where there's joy, a place where there's love. You are welcome here today. place where there's love, a place where there's peace. You are welcome here today. A place where there's love, a place where there's peace. You are welcome here today. You are welcome here today. Come on, everybody, clap your hands one time and help me say. A place where there's love, a place where there's peace. You are welcome here today. A place where there's joy, opportunity. You are welcome here today. You're welcome here. You're welcome here. You are welcome here today. You're welcome here. You're welcome here. You are welcome here. Tell your neighbor you're welcome here. You're welcome here. You are welcome here today. You're welcome here. You're welcome here. You are welcome here today. Place where there's love, place where there's peace. You are welcome here today. Place where there's love, place where there's peace. You are welcome here today.
You got one over there too.
Very good, thank you. Very good. So this next song is a song that I wrote some time ago, and it's simply about raising energy, increasing vibration. Do you all know anything about that? I didn't hear any. Okay, very good. So I want to do this song for you. And I think I'm going to do it and not play the keyboard just for this one. And I want to tell you how the song goes, just for a minute. The song is all about affirming who we are. So the chorus simply goes, I am powerful beyond belief. I am abundant in God energy. Okay? But your job is when I point to you, you're going to say, I am. Can you shout that out?
I am.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I am.
Powerful beyond belief.
I am.
Abundant in God energy.
I am.
Love and action, come and see. My path begins within.
I am.
There you go. Oh, you guys sound like you might know the song. Okay, very good. All right. So let me get this up. We're going to have a little bit of fun here. As long as it's a little. Well, we might do it another way.
Let's go into welcoming. How's that?
No, I got it.
Oh.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, clap your hands. Focus on its minds and center hearts. Strings of divine, a brand new start. If you look inside, the Creator knows you will find that it begins when I am. Powerful beyond belief. I am. Abundant in God I am. The lesson come and see. My hand is within. I am. Come on, let's raise the praise and hear us say. We're focused on its minds and center hearts. Strength of divine, a brand new start. Look inside, the Creator will you find that it begins. I am. Powerful beyond belief. I am. I am. Yes. Now, if you feel like home, try this next part with us. Okay, on this part, we're gonna move a little bit, so I need you to get it out of your seat. Okay? Everybody to the left. We're gonna move to the left. Take it back. And forward. Everybody to the left. Your left. And to the right. Take it back there. Oh! Say, activate. All the active altos in the house, let me hear you lift your voice and sing this part. Activate. Supremacy, magnificence. If your voice is a little higher, you can sing this part. Tenors, help me sing this. I am. Praise. Oh, come on, let your voice be heard and heard. Oh, listen, I celebrate today because I recognize God energy is dwelling in me, and because of that, my vibrations are high. The super has become my natural. As a co-creator, I am free to be, to live, to exist. If you believe it, declare. Make your voice. I am. Powerful beyond belief. I am. Abundant in God energy. I am. Love that should come and see. My faith is within. I am. Thank you.
Magnificent. Check. There we are. Good morning. Hey, another big round of applause for Donnie Lee. Yeah, we're gonna thank Spirit for delivering him and getting him his music instruments the last moment. And Spirit wants Donnie Lee to be with us today. So we're grateful for that. How are you feeling now? Raised, vibrations raised. Excellent. Happy Sunday. Thank you for those of you that came out yesterday to Pioneer Park. We had a wonderful time. Marina sang? Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Sue sang and danced. We had some fun. Had a nice fire. Just really enjoyed when we had food and drink, and just enjoyed each other's company. So we will do that again. Look for that in your newsletter. I'd like to not only welcome everyone, but if you're here for the first time, would you just simply either raise your hand or shout out "I am" if you're really brave. Donnie Lee is absolutely first time in person. We've seen him online. And I have the privilege of introducing to you Reverend Lloyd Barrett from Las Vegas. Reverend Lloyd, would you please stand up? Reverend Lloyd, I've heard him speak several times, and I think he would challenge the thesaurus for his language. He's amazing. Amazing. I told him if he comes up next time, I got to bring him up a little bit because It's humbling to be in his presence as a speaker, let me say that. He is amazing. And his energy, if you get time, meet and greet him in a moment or afterwards, because his energy is just, if anyone knows that spirit is all, it is Mr. and Reverend Lloyd Barrett. So thank you for being here, sir. I feel your energy in the house. Let's, Donnie, if we do just a little music, we haven't done this in a while, and I'm not sure how I skipped it, but let's just meet and greet for a moment, shall we, amongst each other? Say hello to your neighbor, say hello to the person back of you, and we'll get this off.
Hello again.
Thank you so much. Thank you very
Say hello to everybody online. Want to say hello to everybody online watching. Hello, Michael, good to see you. No code words today. All right, if we can begin to come back to our seats. We will move into what we call lighting the flames of faith. So we're going to bring the energy and ground it a little bit here. Nice company we're using. So we perform the flames of faith ceremony to promote universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all things, all beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we like to call spirit. We first light the unity candle, which represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. And I'm going to gong, and I'm going to ask you to breathe collectively. Breathe. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle honoring Islam and the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle acknowledging centers for spiritual living and all forms of new thought, the metaphysical path of a personal relationship of healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the next candle for inclusivity, affirming that those that are seeking a stronger knowing and understanding of divine love are welcome here. There is nothing outside of God. You are welcome here. We now light a healing candle and invite you to silently offer into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they are now the perfect expression of Spirit's eternal wholeness and love. And I'm going to add in, if you have not heard, there was a tremendous earthquake in the Cuba, Jamaican area. So we're going to hold all those peoples in our consciousness, as well as veterans, as we're saying, celebrating Veterans Day tomorrow. And to throw in a little personal one, today is the Marines' birthday, so we honor all those. And let us affirm that love is here and now, and so it is.
Join with me for affirmative prayer, knowing that as we believe, it is so. In this sacred moment of prayer, in this peaceful, warm, loving environment, I express gratitude for the oneness, for our oneness with this presence, for the enthusiasm, for the godliness surrounding us. In such favorable circumstances, we meet together, feeling that oneness of spirit, knowing that truth, that spirit resides within our hearts as children of the one. We are grateful to meet together as CSL St. George, knowing that our numbers are increasing, knowing that there are those seeking us, and our doors will be open and our seats will be filled. And we will joyously sing together as we have today, knowing I am, we are, God is. Knowing that the Spirit fills us and fills our minister as he delivers the message today, and our hearts are touched and we grow and develop from where we are to where we want to be in Christ consciousness, in full consciousness, in love, in peace and harmony within our group, within our city, within our country, within our world. In gratitude for sweet life. Together we bow our heads, hold our hearts, and hold hands, appreciating and loving the Spirit, the knowing that as we believe, it is and it will be, and it is good. And together we say, and so it is. So it is. Oh, do I just go up again?
Go ahead.
Intermission.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awaken to the wonder that you are. I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. I'm here to remind you help you awaken to the wonder that you are. I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. I'm here to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you that you're truly loved. Now we will have practitioner Sue Fulmer with the reading.
Happy to be here with you today. You hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
The author of Eat, Pray, Love, she's famous for, Liz Gilbert. She has a blog on the site called Substack, which I love to read. And her favorite, or my favorite site of hers is entitled Letters from Love. Last week she had as a guest writer Lucia Nell, Knell, who is the co-creator of the social media site Upworthy. She devotes her life to finding and spotlighting stories about human kindness, decency, generosity, and compassion. The story one guy tells on Upworthy is when trick-or-treaters came to their door, they offered them candy or a potato. He heard comments like, "Oh, you're the potato house. You guys are legends." This is a joyful tradition for them, and many of the children choose a potato. He ends with, "My friends, every day you are given a choice. I encourage you, choose potato." Another story shared says, "Walking to my bus from work one day, 3 boys on scooters came up to me and asked if I wanted to see a magic trick. I taught high school. I would not trust that. I prepared for the worst when he asked me to hold a hand out and close my eyes. He slams a quarter down in it and says, 'Ta-da!' Signals to his friends and they ride away. Magic." And I'll share one more. "When I stopped at a crosswalk today, this guy pulled up next to me, rolled his window down, and stuck his head out. At first I thought, I was like, oh no, street harassment, here it comes. But then the guy was like, 'Dude, look at that huge rainbow behind you.' There is abundant good in our world. Keep your eyes and ears open for it. And if we work together, we can create more of the good for everyone."
Oh.
Namaste.
All right. We're going to do one more song before we hear an amazing message. But my understanding is that we have a thing called abundance. Do we have any dancers in the house? Anybody who's ready to dance in abundance? This song is all about that. So I'm going to sing it, and you're going to help me sing it. But more importantly, you're going to dance. We're going to dance. Yes. Very good. Uh-oh. Do we have sound on the track? Okay, let's see. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. We're not going to allow technology to challenge our opportunity to dance.
Oh, no.
We have to channel it somewhere.
Yeah. So it is.
So it is. Okay. Okay, here we go. We can use this one.
Everybody say bless, 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 bless. Lift your voice if you feel it. Bless, 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 say bless, 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 oh bless, 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 oh. We're blessed in the city. We're blessed in the field. We're blessed when we come, when we go. We cast down false beliefs, sickness and poverty have ceased. For the truth has been revealed. We are, we're blessed in the city. We're blessed in the field. We're blessed when we come and when we go. We cast down false beliefs, sickness and poverty, for the truth been revealed. Oh, okay, you feel it now. Everybody say bless, bless, say bless, bless, say bless, bless. Declare over your life now, say bless, bless, I'm blessed, you're blessed, say bless, bless, whoa, we're blessed, we're blessed in the city, yes we are. We're blessed when we come and when we go. We have sickness and for the truth has been preached. Whoa, we're blessed. Yes, we are. We're blessed when we come and when we go. We have sickness and for the truth has been preached. Oh, this part goes from the morning to the midnight hour. It's working out for me. I'm asking for more, please. Yeah, yeah. From the morning to the midnight, it's working out. I'm asking for more, please. Say yeah, yes. Good morning. It's working out. Just for my good. Say yeah, yes. It's working out. Everything working out for me. Yes. Say yeah, yes. It's working out. It's working out. A greater manifestation of good. Say it's working. It's working out. It's working out. Say yeah. Yeah. Say yeah. It's working. Whoa. And we declare His goodness over our lives. Say yeah. Yeah. Say yeah. I'm blessed. Oh.
Thank you.
Well, that's a good one too.
Yeah, we'll just keep it rolling. I don't know if you can wait a whole month for you to come back and do this, brother. Oh, give a round of applause. Yeah. Johnny Lee. That's it. That's it. Are we feeling it?
Yes.
Yes. What are we feeling?
Yes.
We are blessed. We are blessed. And pardon me. So last week we began a new talk of the month, which was abundance. Gotta get all the sides, just make sure. Okay. If I turn all the way around, it's like widescreen and block everything. But I did give you a little bit of home practice to do. Does anybody remember or recall what I asked you to do as a practice? And actually, I'm gonna give credit to my wife because she thought it was a great idea. Does anybody remember? The affirmation, thank you. I feel like a school teacher, like Bueller. Right, so this was the affirmation. I'm just gonna read it one time. It said, today, I recognize the abundance of life. I animate everything in my experience with this idea. I remember only the good. I accept only the good. I expect only the good. This is all I experience. I give thanks that this good is flowing in every increasing volume. I do not withhold this good from others, but proclaim that spiritual substance is flowing to each and to all as daily supply. Say yes.
Yes.
That is it. I'm going to open the floor for a moment. How many of you actually practice this and have something positive to share? Stephanie, please. Nice and loud so we can hear you home.
Well, as I went through the week, I would look at that on my phone because I took a picture of it and I would say it. And I just felt peace. Okay. I felt like I could get through the day, or whatever was showing up was for a reason. And so I would just take it in
Yes.
and deal with it. And today, of course, I've told a couple of people, I had a flat tire on the way here. I called on God, the impersonal self, the self, whatever you want to call it.
Right?
And the guy behind me, I could feel this like rocking in my car. And I went, oh, I've got to take care of this, right? Right at the light at 700 South, he's pointing at me, the
Right.
guy behind me. And I'm going, oh, okay. So everybody let me turn around in the intersection there and get back to Maverick. I called Dwayne. I said, come and get me because it is a total mess,
Yeah.
you know? And I called a friend to help him because he's 85. Okay. So I called a friend to help him. He said he was on his way. And a person was leaving Maverick offered to help because the other friend hadn't got here and I had to get here.
Right.
So I was able to take his car. He's able to help him take my car home.
And all were provided for.
It's all, you know, we're so blessed.
It was
Just
an
be aware of
abundance.
it.
Can we say yes?
Yes.
God is good. Yes. Thank you. Anyone else want to share any? That's excellent. Sue.
With this affirmation of everything is good, I was able to make it through the elections, keeping my peace and balance. And this helped too, the purple bracelet.
Yeah, we'll bring that up in a minute. Excellent. So it is, you know, I find the road to experiencing a more deeply personal self and with spirit is things are, you know, God doesn't make things hard, does he? Does she? Does it? It's here and now. We just have to walk and do the talk. So something as simple as practicing an affirmation opens that door to the abundance that is already present. And that's what we're going to be talking a little bit about more today, not just for ourselves, but how we are interacting with all of humanity. And so I'm going to start today off with a story. He says, or it says, there was once a farmer who grew excellent quality corn, or quality corn, not corn. Every year, right? Every year, he won the award for the best corn. One year, a newspaper reporter interviewed him and learned something interesting about how he grew it. The reporter discovered that the farmer shared his seeds with his neighbors. How can you afford to share your best seed corn with your neighbors when they are entering in competition with yours each and every year? The reporter asked. Why, sir, said the farmer, don't you know? The wind picks up pollen from the ripening corn and swirls it from field to field. If my neighbors grow inferior corn, cross-pollination will steadily degrade the quality of my corn. If I am to grow good corn, I must help my neighbors grow good corn as well. And so it is with our lives. Those who want to live meaningfully and well must help enrich the lives of others. For the value of life is measured by the lives it touches.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
So we know that and we put that into practice, and it's a good reminder to remind ourselves. And we bring up, Sue brought up the election, and honestly, I don't feel qualified to talk about that too much because it's a big debate among ministers about we're here to tell you what's right and not, and I'm just going to tell you it's not. I believe you walk in faith the way you walk, and if you voted for the person that you felt was the best and the highest leader for our country, and God bless you for that. And what I am grateful for is the freedom to have that choice.
Yes.
So this farmer clearly understood how nature, how spirit, how God provides for all, and uniquely in this situation to and through him. And so let us broaden when we talk about CSL and a world that works for all, that we are already a part of abundance. Right? We can turn it on. We are all gifted with abilities, talents, blessings abundant. It is up to us how we use them, when we use them, and for what accord we use them. Now, it's often that, unfortunately, we tend to until our mind is open to recognizing our oneness with the whole, and that is that the whole that provides us, not that we are providing ourselves. And so we tend to enter into competition. We tend to hoard. We tend to basically cut off the infinite and overwhelming flow that is here now. Just like we talk about Christ consciousness, that it's already here. We think we have to do something, and we have to take a class instead of just open it and remove the things that we have put in front of ourselves that prevent it. And so as I was creating this talk, a word popped up to me, an idea, and that word was stewardship.
Good word.
Stewardship. Now, stewardship sometimes gets a bad rap because it can be used in religiosity, as to quote Reverend Michael Beckwith, religiosity, in a negative way. And so what I wanted to offer today are 4 simple principles of being a good steward. See, stewardship, in case we're not aware, it's a principle, it's even a path of ethics that where we are, how are we managing, how are we supervising the blessings that we have now? And basically it's how are we taking care of something? Excuse me. Too often, again, when we think about, oh, this is mine, I need to supervise, I need to manage it, we do this from a place of controlling, again, as if we are that source and supply. And so I want to make sure that we understand there is only one source and supply, which is what? Which is who? Doesn't matter the name we call it, right? It is that which is back of all things. And we are allowing ourselves to participate in that. And I love the idea of flow of consciousness. The flow of consciousness. And it is what we make of it. That within this flow is joy, is abundance, is prosperity, is wellness, is wholeness. It's all there, turned on already, waiting for us to say yes to it. So this first principle of being a good steward is ownership. Ownership. So this could be a tricky thing. The way I want to open it up, well, let me open it up to you. When we talk about owning, what comes to your mind in the sense of being good stewards of our blessings? Okay.
Connection.
Connection, responsibility. I would say it just so everybody at home can hear.
Recognition.
Recognition.
Accountability.
Accountability. Excellent. And so what I tend to like to remind myself when I might get a little too caught up in the I'm doing this is that I own nothing. Right? I didn't create it. I co-created it. I was not the source of the power, but I am using the one and only true power that we call God, we call spirit, we call that infinite flow. And for me, and I know there's two sides to argue this because my head went back and forth, because we can also, the flip side of this is to say we own everything. But in the moment, unless we are of and aligned with this pure and perfect idea of wholeness, okay? And when we are everything, but yet we are living this human experience. And so the way I want us to think about this is that we are co-creating. Now that doesn't separate us from that which we call God, what we call law, which is the part of God that we look at to say is the action part. It's the moving. If you were to compare it to Christianity, it would be the Holy Spirit. It's moving to and through and doing the work. And so as we open up to this owner, when we recognize that it's not little old me that has to do this, we are not coming from the limitations that we see within ourselves. That is the point of this principle that I would like us to understand, that we are opening to say, okay, here it is. Now, what can I do with this? And as it comes to and through us, if it's there for a lifetime, awesome. If it's there for a moment, awesome. That we were blessed with whatever it was, whether it's a friendship, whether it was a car, whether it was an opportunity for a job. I don't know about you, but I have flipped jobs like flapjacks for a while at times, until I just realized there's more happening than just my agenda, that we are interconnected. And when I come from that point of view, there's so much more that I get out of the experience that I was in, that every job has and will continue to prepare me for the next. Every experience will, when we culminate together and we pause and we sit and ground within spirit, that we're able to see the gifts and the blessings that were abundant and are abundant in that moment. Ernest Holmes, our founder, says, there is one source of everything in the universe which takes the form of the supply we need when we need it. Now, I like this quote because it reminds me of what we call divine right timing, because there's a lot of things that we think we know when it should show up. That's the time where I say, where is my bleep? Where is it? This is the right time, right here, right now. This is the right best pathway. And I believe that I get into this line of thinking because I believe I'm the one controlling it. But when I open my mind to recognize that it is the power that created me and the power that creates all, that is the owner of all. And it is a loving owner that gives abundantly from itself to itself, which is you and I. So everything is for our use, for our consumption, for our supply, for our experience. There's no doubt about that. And all that we're living in is a temporary experience. Now, we don't always want to bring that to mind, but I call that to mind sometimes because for me, there's times when I feel the pressure of having it all here and now. And it becomes overwhelming. And when I get there, I completely disconnect from that flow of consciousness. And not obviously completely disconnect, but I kind of bring that dimmer switch of spirit all the way down so I can barely feel it. And that's when I tend to get depressed, I get anxious, I just don't feel good. I want to be by myself, I want to control things. And that obviously is the opposite of what we're talking about with regards to being and recognizing and being a part of God's infinite flow. Again, just stressing, God is the owner of all because God is present and is the presence of all. So when we talk about owner, my mind wants to go out there. No. It's just that it is the source. I love the word source. It's the source of all that is, all that can be, all that will be. And how blessed are we to have the consciousness to know how to use it in our lives at the level we do right now. And recognizing that it is infinite. We talk about vibrations, there's infinite energy flowing, and we get to open ourselves to that. Ernest Holmes also says, God wills us to have everything. As we express life, we fulfill God's law of abundance. But we do this only as we recognize that there is good enough to go around. Only as we know that all of God's gifts are given as freely and fully as the air and the sunshine, alike to all. So what Ernest is talking about here is the idea that we have to recognize it's given to us. I grew up in a faith where there was a lot of earning. You know, God was up here and out there, and you had to bow down and earn it. And if you did it, you were punished. Now, there were many blessings I took from that faith, but that is not one of them. Now I recognize we're on, in essence, equal grounds. That there's all I really truly do, and I know that we do as a community. You are here because we're amplifying. It's like, what is new? What can I incorporate into my personal life uniquely with what I already have, and use that, for my fulfillment. Donnie's sitting here. He's got gifts and talents, and he's singing, and he's feeling the flow. We felt his energy, and everyone else felt it as well. Perfect example. That's better than the farmer. I should have used you all along. But going back to our story, that is what the farmer understood. I got the best corn, and he didn't keep it away from others. He shared it with others. And what happened? It came back to him time and time again. Came back to his crop, right? He recognized that while he was being a good steward of his corn, he wasn't the owner of it. And so he allowed it to go and flow to where it would naturally. So I'm going to pause for a minute. And I want you to, let's take a breath for a minute. I can feel my energy kind of high. I got to bring it back down for a moment. And I want you to think about how you're feeling about what you have. And just hold that in your heart for a moment. Just for a moment. Think of the blessings that you have in this moment, right where you are, not even outside of this room, and at home, wherever you are. We could sit here a long time if we begin to open our minds more and more down to every single cell, atom, subatomic particle, that while it is our body, we are not the owners of it. And we trust that higher power. We trust that it's already perfect, whole, and complete in and of itself, and we open to that. Now, I did hear the second principle already spoken, that is one of responsibility. So now that I've asked you to contemplate your blessings, I'd like you to pause for a moment and ask yourself if you're being responsible for them. And then how do you know if you're being responsible for them? This is a question I'm going to pose and looking for an answer. How do you know if you are being responsible, in essence, part of being a good steward of your blessings?
More comes.
Say again?
More comes.
More comes.
They thrive.
They thrive, you thrive. Yes.
It's a feel-good experience.
The feeling that you get, absolutely. And feeling is all about energy. All about energy.
It ripples out.
It ripples out like the seeds, the good seeds going to others, so that all may participate. It's here and now. Maybe one of the best examples I can tell you personally of energy and how it's here. I don't know if you remember Reverend Patrick Harvila. It's been a little while since he spoke for us. He was in town and went back in Las Vegas, and I participated with him in a meditation. And we were in a circle, probably a good 15 feet in diameter. And he was just pumping our thought up, pumping the energy up. And I didn't get the chance to, but people who sat in the middle, couldn't even explain the feeling of just pure life. I'm going to use that word. Whatever they needed in that moment, whatever the reason was they needed to sit in that chair, they experienced the healing that they needed. And on the outside, I could literally, as a matter of fact, at one point I went like this and thought I had hit the person next to me, and there was nothing there, in essence, no form, but the energy itself. That is what we are able to open ourselves to each and every day. We do, and we must practice in order to maintain that. And so being responsible, well, we mentioned a good part is when we're being responsible, we keep what we have, and it's amplified. And on the flip side, what do we experience when we're not? Well, that's kind of easy. We experience lack. We experience lower forms of emotion, depression, anxiety, and so forth. We tend to experience what we would call non-life affirming experiences happening to us. Why is this happening to me? And when we're stuck in that mode, that flow of consciousness, and we know how the law of attraction works, where we are, it takes effort to raise ourselves up. And the idea of an abundant life always raises me up. To think about, okay, where am I at right now? Where are you at right now that you can receive and experience more? And someone will say, well, that's selfish, Rev Joe. And I'm like, exactly. Because what Ernest Holmes says is, we can only receive and share what we are willing to open ourselves to. And that it is God's good grace to give us the kingdom, as the Bible said. And it's already here. What we know is because the kingdom is the recognition that you are already that which you seek. There is no secret. That is the holy grail of itself. But we go seeking somewhere for it. Some sign of it. Now, I'm not saying that that's not helpful. It's like the 4 minute mile, right? It took a long time for people to believe it was possible. And then who knows what happened within 6 months after it. After the first person broke it. 32 people broke his record. Because all of a sudden and there's nothing wrong in that. There's times when we need that example. But guess what? Life is abundant. It has already supplied those examples. Say yes?
Yes.
And you, me, we are that example for many, my friends. There are a lot of people living down in despair. And what we know and celebrate about the truth of life here is like a lighthouse. And the saying about the lighthouse is the lighthouse doesn't go running around all over the island trying to save everybody. It stands firm and shines. Period. Those that, I will use the word in this case, need what we have to offer will find us. Or they will find a perfect path for them. So moving on, the next principle is, already mentioned, accountability. So in this situation, we're recognizing that after we recognize the true owner, and then we allow it to and through it, and we're sharing, and that we're being responsible about it, then we're talking about this idea of what are we doing with what we have? The avenue, are we being accountable for our good? So Donnie obviously is extremely talented, but what if he just sat on all that goodness and never shared it? And he only played for himself in his house. Now, is that wrong? No. But is there a higher level of accountability? He's willing to step out. It takes a lot of courage to sing in front of people, to play in front of people. Because in the back of all of our minds, including speakers, what if I mess up? What if I hit the wrong note? And so on. It's there. It's a real thing. But he realizes through practice the joy of allowing that flow to and through him, and the joy of the response that we will each get as we allow God and Spirit to flow to and through us, to, in essence, use us. To use us spiritually. Think about that. Again, going back to one of my famous quotes of Troward, which is, we are all channels of the divine. So use us. We each allow and control how much Spirit we allow to and through us. So are we being now accountable for our good? Time check, please.
57.
Perfect. All right. So the last principle we're going to cover is kind of one we've mentioned too, is the reward of being a good steward, which is, again, you mentioned one more time. More. Does anybody not want more? Raise your hand. Oh, so you were listening. Okay. Yes. Selfishness is a good thing in the sense of when you are putting yourself first and grounding and taking care of what you have. Now, we're not talking about selfishness making ourselves better than anyone else. That's not what we're talking about. But we're talking about taking care of ourselves. It's kind of like the example in the airplane. Right? When you're getting on board, they go through all the safety checks and, the oxygen mask may drop. And if it does, what do they tell you to do?
Put it on yourself first.
Put it on first. Because what happens is, I'm sure, I'm going to call out mothers because they love their kids so much, they're going to take care of them first. In the process, they lose consciousness and now they're not a help to anyone. So yes, give from your overflow. Take care, fill up, energy, emotionally, in every way possible. Do we not think that that which has created us wants that for us? Because it's not a that enemy, it's we. It's all one, so it's already there. It holds nothing back. Source is source. We are that source expressing in human form. And who knows what else is going on in the world? We have a very limited view. There's a big bad universe out there. I mean bad in a good way. So the principle of reward. And we are rewarded in form, in experience, in vibration, in joy, in love, in sense of self, in sense of wholeness, of unity. Lao Tzu, from the Faith Taoism, he says, the sage does not hoard. The more he helps others, the more he benefits himself. Having bestowed all that he has on others, he has yet more. Having given all he has to others, he is richer still. Okay. Now, I read that and I go, okay. And I'm like, whew. To me, the consciousness that Lao Tzu holds, still around in spirit, is in the sense that he recognized that this is an infinite and eternal life. We're going to live on and on and on. So what he didn't get through today, I can give it all away today because there is an infinite more. Let us not just think in terms of this life, but beyond. All right. So are we recognizing our unity and our wholeness with Source? Are we consciously aware of the blessings around us? And are we that we're using them wisely, that we're being responsible, we're taking accountability, we're allowing it to work through us? So last couple things here to conclude. To be faithful stewards, we're called to be conscious that all that is good is God. Yes. Yes. We are to be responsible and accountable for the gifts of goodness and love and joy, the blessings abundant that we have. Yes. And we are to be accepting of the abundance. Hear that, people. We have to receive. We can't just give away. All the gas goes out of the tank. If we got nothing left, we're kind of dead on the spot there. That's not being a good steward. So we have to be accepting of the abundant good that we are offered because it is not just for us. Yes? All right. So as we end our service, another practice. Now, I do recommend that you continue on with the previous affirmation. But for today's affirmation, I'm going to ask everyone to stand. We can read it. I'll read it once together. I'm going to ask us to say it. Remember, the words have power, but it is the power that we put into the words that really is the intent. All that life is interconnected. Everything needed to thrive is here now. So let us go. 3, 2, 1.
All life is interconnected. Everything needed to thrive is here now.
One more time with gumption.
All life is interconnected. Everything needed to thrive is here now.
One more time.
All life is interconnected. Everything needed to thrive is here now.
Amen. Please be seated. So let us conclude with prayer. Let us know that life is truly abundant because the source of all is abundance. We know that it takes care of all because it is all. We open ourselves to that flow of consciousness. I breathe. And there is another breath. I open myself to the perfection of Source. I unify with this source of all. I co-create a magnificent life for myself and for those that I am interconnected with, which is all of humanity and all that it lives in being on this earth for Mother Gaia herself. There is nothing outside of God. And I open my eyes, my mind, and my heart to the recognition that the smallest and the greatest and all in between are a blessing. We know that as we carry intent in our hearts of love, of joy, of oneness in this lifetime, as I go about my day, my work, I truly practice seeing nothing but spirit and form. And I hold in my mind in this moment those that have been affected by the earthquake, Cuba, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, and so on. We know that God is good with a capital G. And we, in our little selves, know and affirm that all is happening that keeps them safe, that there are more than enough resources to tend to those that are in need right now. And as we call to mind tomorrow, recognizing Veterans Day, we are grateful for those that choose to serve to keep peace. We recognize and honor those that have given their lives for that peace, that have allowed us the freedom that allows me and you to practice the spirituality that we choose, which is freedom that not all, unfortunately, get to participate in. But in our minds, we know it is so. In our hearts, we call to that co-creative power and know that is happening in this moment. That all that needs to be cleared will be cleared, and all that needs to be uplifted is uplifted. That our word energizes. That we are like the lighthouse. We know the truth of ourselves. We know who we are. We are spirit. We know what we are, and that is spirit in form. And we know how we serve. We serve through our very life and the way that we give it to others. So we open ourselves this morning to recognize that it is truly all here. We are joyful to sing and dance together. We are blessed that Donnie made it safe and see him home as we see each and every person here at our community home. We are grateful just to be a part of this life consciously. We see this community growing in abundance, the resources, the members. We see and welcome our new location. God provides, and so it is. Turn it over to Blaine, if you don't mind. I've asked Donnie to play during our offering. And so we here at CSL St. George practice the law of giving and receiving when it is time to offer. And so if you are unaware, we do have an offering bowl to my right, your left. And I know that many of you give online, and I just want to say thank you. We are being good stewards of our resources. What, click? Sorry, thank you. That's why I have many ways to give abundantly. And so I just want you to know that we are continuing to be good stewards, particularly of our finances. And I want to give a shout out to Charles, who's sitting right there, and we honor him as a veteran as well. Thank you, Charles. Charles is our, what's the official title? Treasurer. I want to say banker, but that's not right. Treasurer. And he is excellent at what he does. So our money is making money until it is time to use it to towards our new establishment, our new home, our new spiritual home. Continue to hold that in your hearts. As you give, please receive. There are an abundance of affirmation cards that I would like you to take and practice, and then we are interconnected to pass along. And so we're going to take a few minutes to do that now. I'm going to have Donnie Lee play a little bit.
When I rose this morning, said, God is so good. When I rose this morning, said, God is so good. When I rose this morning, said, God is so good. is so good to me. When I rose this morning, said, God is so good. When I rose this morning, said, God is so good. When I rose this morning, said, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Feeling so good, say, God is so good. Feeling good in my soul, I said, God is so good. Feeling good in my soul, I say, God is so good. My God is so good to me. In my time of trouble, say, God is so good. In my time of trouble, say, God is so good. In my time of trouble, say, God is so good. My God is so good to me. In my time of triumph, say, God is so good. In my time of triumph, say, God is so good. In my time of triumph, say, God is so good. My God is so good to me.
I got him.
We move into the awareness of gratitude. We are participants with the lavishness of the infinite. This lavishness is surging in through and us in the center, and we are so grateful for this participation. Accepting that this lavishness in which we are participating is a blessing in our lives, in the community, in this center. We accept that this multiplicity of good is unending, not only financially, but for perfect health, for harmony, for multiplicity of joy. In other words, the lavishness is not just an intellectual statement, it's the practicality and the activity consistently enmeshing us. I am so grateful that we are enveloped in this good. I'm grateful for Rev Joe and for all the persons present. I'm grateful for even being able to be present with great joy. I affirm that divine goodness is our natural state, and this is a continual expression of the divine lavishness. Please say to yourself, I am lavished with the goodness of pure spirit. I repeat that, please. Just say to the self, I am lavished with the goodness of pure spirit. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you. Reverend Lloyd Barrett, my friends. I don't even know what to say after that. God is so good.
Yes.
All right, who do we have doing our announcements today? Me. Okay, moving up. And I want to say a little something about our class. Oh,
See these purple stoles? What did you call it, Bill?
Sash.
A stash, okay. We're your practitioners, and we'd love to pray with you today for a minute, or give us a call, and we'll be happy to pray with you for any need or any joy. You can also contact us at csl.org and click the About button, and there's our pictures there. Any of us, you can click on that and get in touch with us by email. The next in-person service is November 24th. Aren't we lucky to have it twice a month?
Twice a month. God is so good.
Yeah.
So today, I am so grateful for the people that are helping in our kitchen, for our music today, for our wonderful service and message. We are truly blessed. So stay and enjoy the camaraderie. We are now doing a complaint-free world. We've had one lesson. We've got 3 more to go. And Joe wants to talk about that. Get your bracelets ready.
Yeah, I was just gonna kind of show, there are 2 books. This is one of them. Here you go. And then if you are part of the class, I do have the bands available. And if you haven't joined yet, join us. It's a fun class. It's great discussion. It's light and yet it's profound. And I know that many of us, some of us have done it before without the book, with the book and whatnot. And I can tell you that it can be draining to recognize just how much we focus on, I will own it, how much I focus on what I don't want to experience. And so it's about practice, right? This is a practical faith. And so join us. We have more than enough. I will say it's a one size fits all. And the idea is when you catch yourself complaining, you take the band off and you put it on and then consciously recognize what it is that you were complaining about and then focus on what you would rather experience. And there are times when I'm wearing this down really well. But I am grateful because here's the thing, we're talking about abundance. How can I receive the goodness, the lavishness that we're talking about when I'm blocking it all the time because I'm focusing on what I don't have, what I want to experience, but I'm focused on what I don't want to experience. And it's simple, right? But I know that this is I'm going to invite you to join us Tuesday, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 5 o'clock, did I say that right? Yeah, 5 o'clock Pacific Time, or whatever your time is. And again, if you need a band, purple bands, see me after service. I almost said see me after school, but that's the wrong role I'm playing right now.
Wrong job.
Thanks for that, Joe. Please find that link for the Zoom for the class in your reminders or the newsletter that Marina so graciously puts online for us. No Zoom today. Hi to everybody online. We love you.
Sue, core council applications.
Okay. That's sad. My term with the core council is up in February. She just reminded me that we want someone to replace me. Now,
You can't be replaced.
You can tell from my voice, it's something that we love doing, and it does take our time, but we are so bounteously, lavishly blessed for the things that we do in our service. So please think about it, pray about it, and get that message like I did. I was in Florida when it said, when you go back to St. George, you apply for that. So ask if it's your time. It's really a blessing, and we need you. We have 4 openings. So anybody that wants to serve, we certainly have an opportunity for you to serve. Okay. So we will be taking early applications until December 31st. So think about it, pray about it, and join us. Our upcoming Sundays. Next week is Loaves and Fishes. Getting back to Bible stuff, huh? Mm-hmm. And then at our in-person will be Reverend Rachel Dilling with Rise Up and Dance. Hey, we're going to dance again. Good. Okay. I do have a request to give some time to Rachel Dilling, our staff minister, for a very special announcement.
Okay, so I don't know if you all know this, but Reverend Joe and I graduated from ministerial school right in the middle of COVID. And so what ended up happening is he and I and one other minister who graduated from the Redondo Beach ministerial program did not get our stoles presented to us at a graduation. So I happen to have Reverend Joe's stole that we are going to present to him. But before we do that, your practitioners would like to say a few words. So if you guys will come up, please.
Since I've already warmed up this microphone.
Ooh, shocking.
A lot of energy. I worked in education in Las Vegas also
And Joe is a high school counselor, and so I appreciate and know what time and especially emotional and mental energy is required working with our teenagers. And I just want to congratulate him for the job he does at his day job and his weekend job, because he's balancing things so beautifully, and we love him sharing that precious time with us. Congratulations.
So cool. So some of you don't know, I went to prac school with Reverend Joe. So I did get to experience him in all his less than glory.
Right.
And I would just like to say that I've got to see him grow. I've got to see what this teaching really does for us as human beings. And I've seen it open his heart. I've seen it open his mind. I've seen his consciousness evolve. We did this thing, and you have to write your own eulogy. You're not quite there yet, dude. Should I call you Reverend Doctor?
Right.
And this has been Joe's aspiration since then. Once he realized that, as Reverend Rachel said, he was hungry for this teaching, and you really have to be hungry for this teaching, and he still is. And he's still growing, and he's still becoming. And in my long time being in this teaching, I've seen lots of ministers really evolve, and I've seen other ministers not. But in the short time that Joe's been a minister, I've seen him evolve exponentially. And I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, my friend.
Wow.
Thank you. I love you too.
I'm so happy that Reverend Joe is here with us. And one of the reasons that I am happy about that is from a leadership standpoint. I spent 30 some years in corporate America looking at everyday examples of poor leadership and examples of good leadership. And I find myself, very susceptible and attracted to good leaders. And when Reverend Joe came on board, I noticed that he had a focus on leadership, but it wasn't necessarily that he saw a vacuum and needed to fill that from a leadership standpoint. He recognized the strong leadership that was already in our core council. And at the time I was not part of that, okay? But Reverend Joe immediately latched onto that, became a part of that strong leadership team. And I love the fact that he didn't feel like he had to recreate or obliterate or change anything. He just got right in the flow and then accelerated the purely good leadership that exists here. So I'm so grateful for that and him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm just grateful, Reverend Joe, for your ability to see the good and to help me align with that good. And that and everything else that everybody's said, and so I'm just gonna ditto that.
Ditto.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it is.
Now I'd like to invite Tony and Reverend Joe to come to the front. So I'm going to say approximately what Reverend Kaplan said to Reverend Marquita when she handed her milestone, that there's a lot of sacrifice and a lot of time that the family gives, as well as the students give, and a lot of work and a lot of self-discovery and growth, and you both have done that. So I'm going to ask Tony to please put the stole on Reverend Joe as an official minister of CSL.
Do my bundle.
And so it is, thank you. And we have extra special food that, who is responsible for? Diane. And the picnic and the leftover for the picnics and Marina.
Flowers.
Oh, yes.
And so
That's okay. We didn't choreograph it well. So these flowers are for Tony and the family because of all of the time and support that the family is required to give to this. It was a lot of work, a lot of process, yes. So thank you.
I have to say.
Oh, that's right.
Come on, I know we're over time, but it'll be just added my. Check.
You don't need a
Just
mic.
keep talking.
I
We
will
can
keep
hear
going.
you.
So I do want to thank Tony, Michael, if he's still listening, probably not, and Joe Fiel. Back when I was thinking about it, so I wanted to be a minister. Actually, I wanted to skip practitioner studies and just go right to ministerial, and that's what Chris was joking about, because we all think we know it until
He
you
was
get
a
into
whole
some
lot of
classes.
disaster.
And so I found myself though, and then I became a practitioner, and Reverend Marquita was like, you just downloaded a lot, take some time off. And I didn't want to, I wanted to hop right in. I took her advice, but then I found myself procrastinating and I couldn't figure out why. And what it came down to was because I was a this or that guy often in my life, it was, I either had to just go on and be a full minister or leave my family behind, or one or the other. And I was having problems with that because I'm a family first person. And so it was my wife who kind of pointed it out. She's like, well, you don't have to leave us behind. We're going to be here with you. So what is it that you're afraid of? And my children were young. And so it was like, I'm going to miss time with them. And that was a difficult decision. And so I had a conversation with them at their age. It was now 7 years ago. And I told them, Daddy really wants to do this. This is how I believe it's going to help all of us, that interconnected part. But there's going to be times when you want to play or you want me to go to a school thing and I just won't have that much time. Are you okay with that? And they were lovingly, not only then, but all the way through. And as Spirit provides, I really, in the end, didn't have to miss too much. That was a blessing. Tony, her ticket to heaven is already there, dealing with me. And I will also say to Rachel, who had to put up with my rants on the way home in California traffic, which I love so much. So I just want to thank everybody, especially, I was a guest speaker before I obviously became your spiritual leader. And it's funny because when I finally had the idea that, you guys would say your affirmation looking for your new minister, and I would say it with you as the guest speaker, not even thinking that maybe it could be me, until it's a step-by-step thing. And then when I said, Rita was like, we were wondering when you were going to apply. And it kind of put me at ease. And I appreciate your comments about leadership because that is something that never ends. And just like we are always that becoming part of us. So I urge you to just have the joy that I have of being who you are right now and recognizing it's an abundant world. There's always more. So say yes to that. And thank you so much, each and every one of you. I appreciate your support. Now I'm going to ask Donnie to rip us out of here, baby.
Okay, we're going to use the track this time to help us.
Michael is watching, by the way.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Hope you're feeling better.
Hi, Michael.
All right, come on, clap your hands. I love this moment, saying God is so good. I got this moment, saying God is so good. I got this moment, saying God is so good. My God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul, saying God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul, saying God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul, God is so good. My God is so good to me. In times of trouble, saying God is so good. In my time of trouble, saying God is so good. In my time of trouble, saying God is so good. My God is so My God is so good. When I'm up and when I'm down, say God is so good. My 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 God is so one more. My God is so. My God is so good. My God is so good to me. Thank you for joining me.
I'm off. I got a message from my son. He said hello to everybody.